viewers, a special BERAKAH, and welcome to another edition of the Catholic BERAKAH, a program which is aimed to uplift the hearts and minds of Catholic faithful and people of goodwill. Kelly Mafotenu is my name, and I'm your host on today's edition. Blessed is the season which engages the whole world in a conspiracy of love. Televiewers, on today's edition, we're going to take a look into the symbols, the various symbols of Christmas. We're going to take a short transition, and when I get back, I'm going to bring my panelists on board.
Oh, how could it be? 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 Oh, how could it be?
Welcome back, televiewers, and if you're just tuning in, you're onto the Catholic BERAKAH, a program which is aimed to uplift the hearts and minds of Catholic faithful and people of goodwill. Kelly Mafotenu is my name, and I'm your host on today's edition. I'm going to begin by bringing my panelists on board, which is no other person than our director of the Catholic BERAKAH, Madam Eposi Emilia. She's aka Mount Zion the Unshakable. Welcome on today's edition, and a special BERAKAH to you.
Thank you, Madam Mafo. It's always a joy for me to be here. And I always want to begin by saying a special BERAKAH to Almighty God, who gives us that time, gives us the strength, gives us that inspiration, knowledge, gives us that good health, and makes it possible for us to be here to share our view with you out there. I want to say a special BERAKAH to the Chief Shepherd of the Diocese of Goya, Bishop Bibi Michael, a special BERAKAH to the Bishop Emeritus, Bishop Emmanuel Bushu, a special BERAKAH to all the priests of the Diocese of Goya and all the religious. And I always want to say a Merry Christmas to you all. I also want to say a special BERAKAH to all the Berakanians out there, to Mami Young, to Madame Christie, to Mami Aswagbo, to Barrister Wunjia, Frida, and all the Berakanians. I wish to say a special BERAKAH and Merry Christmas. I also want to say a special BERAKAH to all the Christian faithful, especially of St. Charles Lwanga's Parish, or the Catholic Christians out there, and the people of goodwill. Special BERAKAH and Merry Christmas to the Readers Ministry of St. Charles Lwanga's Parish, to you, Mr. Edmond. I wish you say Merry Christmas. And also want to say a special BERAKAH to the entire team of MW, to Madame Brunhilda, to Madame Ernestine, to you, Mr. Paul, to you, Mr. Beats, to you, Mr. Itungwe, and all the teachers, staffs, and students. I also want to say a special BERAKAH to you, Mother Mary Kumbe. A Merry Christmas to you, and I also want to say a Merry Christmas and special BERAKAH to all the sisters of St. Therese of the Child Jesus. A special BERAKAH to my children, Eyole, Moname, and Elue, and a special BERAKAH to you, Mr. Fedi Galus, and Merry Christmas. And I want to say a special BERAKAH to our spiritual director, Reverend Father Dr. Josh Kezenjingo, and Merry Christmas to you and your entire family. And I always want to say a special BERAKAH and Merry Christmas to the entire team of High TV, especially Madame Chloe, who is always behind the machines and sees it possible that this program can be live on air. I wish to say special BERAKAH to you and Merry Christmas, Madame Chloe. Thank you, Mafo, once more for inviting me here to talk about the things of God. It's always a joy for me to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mount Zion. We're going to take a hymn because this is the season for us to rejoice and be glad.
Yes. Angels we have heard in heaven, sweetly sing our plains, and the mountain tops in answer echoing their joyous strain. Gloria in excelsis Dei, you gloria, gloria, gloria. exaltation, while your rapturous strain prolong. Tell us of the gladsome tidings which inspire our joyous songs. Gloria, Gloria, Gloria in excelsis Deo. Gloria, Gloria, Gloria in excelsis Deo.
Thank you very much, Mount Zion. As I always like to say, Christ is the reason for the season. So we're going to go straight into our topic, the various symbols of Christmas. And Mount Zion, I want us to begin with the most famous, which is the Christmas tree.
Yes, I know that you like the Christmas tree. But you know that the Christmas tree comes as a result of some other things. So I would like to give you a little background of the Christmas tree. But before getting into that, Marfo, let us just take a small reflection of what we have in our meditation, which tells us that the light which is revealed to the world today is that of salvation, a light which reminds us that we are created for good, justice, peace, love, and truth. The poor, the sick, those who weep and mourn, the humble, the meek, prostitutes, the marginalized, etc., tend to see this light better than us. They tend to hear the good news of salvation better than us. They have listened, they have seen, they have recognized him who comes to meet them. They are the ones we meet throughout the infancy narrative of Luke, the poor of the Lord. It is to the marginalized that these words are being addressed. You are not alone, you are my beloved son. These words are not addressed to angels or to the proud of heart, but rather to the poor and oppressed. Thus, through the mystery of the incarnation, not only does God become man, but he also makes creation divine. The words of the Father to the Son became the Father's word to all his children. You and I, you are my son. Today I have begotten you. Today we recognize that we all beloved children of the Father. We are all beloved children of the Father. Therefore, you are a beloved children of the child of the Father. I am also a beloved child of the Father. Together we are beloved children of the Father. So, Marfo, you talked about the Christmas tree, that everywhere you go now, you see the Christmas tree is there, and it gives that beauty. When you see the Christmas tree, what goes down into your mind? Is it just there?
Many things go down in my mind, but
yes.
Nowadays we don't know which is the original Christmas tree, or should I say the correct Christmas tree, because we have so many outside. Only as I was coming down, I saw about 5 different kinds of Christmas tree, and I was like, Wuhama idea.
Thank you, Marfo. So as I said, before getting into the Christmas tree, let me just begin. We started by talking about the Advent wreath. There are other things that we see that's like the Christmas tree that helps the family, especially the children, in their preparation for the feast of our Lord's nativity. So we said before, at least when we want to make everybody to have an impact, we should try to see that we make a novena. Why not make a novena? And we talked about novena you can not only rely on prayer, but we can also make a novena like attending mass before Christmas. We take a 9-day novena every day together. The children, we attend mass. That can be our novena for Christmas. So Christmas does not start until the 24th of December. So that is, we talk about the midnight mass.
we talk about the midnight mass. So since we cannot stop modern commercialism unless the parents, because we are talked about people getting into Christmas during Advent season, which is wrong. So but now those who are selling their goods, you cannot stop them from not selling their goods. So it is only us, the parents, that we can handle this. And also we cannot go to the street and say that maybe these people should stop. But if we, the domestic church, if we can handle it, then automatically the commercial people, they are going to follow suit. So that is why we say that we should make the children to understand the various customs, and they should know that Advent is the season of preparation, is the season of expectation, is the season of waiting. And so we should learn. That gives us that patience. But looking at what we do today, it shows that we don't have patience, because we enter into Christmas when it is not yet Christmas. So it means that modern man, we don't have that patience within us. And everything in life, it shows that the human beings today, we don't have patience. We need to go back and get that value, that virtue of patience. We need to be people of patience. So we look at it and we talked about us helping these children not to enter into it, like listening to Christmas songs before Christmas, attending Christmas parties, as I said, making Christmas concert during Advent. You have to withhold maybe your children, even friends, not to go to those type of parties, because we look at it, or concert, because we look at it that Christmas is not yet. Then we talked about displaying Christmas things before Christmas. And as I said, Christmas only begins 24th night. And midnight, that's when Christmas begins. So no matter what we do, we have not entered into Christmas. And that is why at first they used to have the midnight mass. But because of insecurity of these days, that is why we see now we have the midnight mass comes as evening mass, vigil mass before Christmas. So that is where that comes in. And we also look at, there was a special practice, Madame Marfo, which talks about St. Nicholas, who has evolved now because of what he was doing. He used to bring children. He was a lover of children who brings children gifts and things like that. His feast is celebrated on the 6th of December. So with all that now, the pagans, they looked at it and they enjoyed it, and so they decided now to form Santa Claus that we have today for the Christmas. So that is why I'm telling you that is another custom of or symbol of Christmas. So that evolves from St. Nicholas, and then the first people even were not even calling it but Santa Claus. Is the English pronunciation that we have this Santa Claus. At first it was not pronounced as Santa Claus. The name was not Santa Claus, but it came from a figure, Santa Claus. So it was Santa Claus, and it was a custom. So when the Jewish, this Santa Claus, it comes from so it is a custom from because this St. Nicholas is a custom from Dutch, and then they decided to form their Santa Claus. So with Santa Claus now, the English people, when they came now, they form now Santa Claus. So Santa Claus is not a saint, and it comes from even a pagan way, as most often you see the religious custom, they mostly evolve from pagan. Even this 25th of December, it was a sun god, and then you see now, because looking at Jesus Christ, it depicts all the features and characteristics of sun, and looking at it, he is more brighter even than the sun. So now to change, to convert people, that's why these things now, they come now to remove them from paganism now to Christianity. So as you talked about the famous Christmas tree, let me go there because that is where your mind is. So the Christmas tree, some people say it is not Christian, but I'll tell you that the Christmas tree is Christian, or completely Christian, from its origin. So, and it can be connected with other customs of the pre-Christian times before. So the symbol of the tree is religious, and it is based on the idea of liturgical thoughts into the Christian's home. So it was something that happened, so the people now decided to bring this Christmas tree into their homes. Why? Because it is a combination of two liturgical symbols from the medieval days. That is the paradise tree and the Christmas light. These were things that were being used separately. But now if we look at the tree incorporates all into one. So I think that there's a tree, you can be spying at the tree and looking at what I'm saying.
I'm
So,
actually spying.
yeah, so from the 11th century, there were religious places in the church, or maybe in front of the churches. People used to have this religious place. And this place, the popular one was the paradise play. So they'll go back to Adam and Eve acting. So it went back to the creation of man, that is Adam and Eve, and their expulsion from the garden. So they'll act this play until when Adam and Eve were being driven away from the garden. That is when now they will stop. That is now waiting for the promised Savior. Yes, so this play was mostly acted during Advent. So when they end there now, you see now during Christmas now, where they end, Christmas come now to complete it. So the play will close with a consolation promise of the coming of our Savior and his incarnation. This play was mostly done during Advent. The tree was hung with apples. So when they are acting the play, they will put the paradise tree, then apples will be there, and all the things that you can see in Christmas trees now, put sweets and things like that. So the tree was hung with apples, from which Eve broke, or she took the fruit that she gave it to Adam. So at the 15th century, this play was forbidden by the bishops. Why? In all countries, the bishops had to forbid the play because abuse of the play came into the show. You see, like we human beings, we don't like to follow what is there. We like to bring in our own things that we think that, but we fail to understand that, like the church has a prescribed way of doing things. And so we cannot just bring anything into maybe what they have put to be liturgical. When we bring it now, it destroys the liturgy. So when the bishops realized it, they realized that the reverence was not there again. So that is why now they realized that the play now is becoming non-religious. So they decided to abolish it. But now, since the people, they could no longer believe that they will not see that tree again, because one of the things were the trees that the apple was being hung on it. So since they could not sit without seeing that tree, they decided now to bring now the tree into their homes, so that looking at it now they will remember, as we say in BERAKAH.
Remember.
Yes. So they started putting this tree into their homes. So then there's another thing, the Latin, like we look at it, the Latin church has never recognized Adam and Eve as saints, but the Eastern church do. So they celebrate their feast day on the 24th of December. So when you look at it, also,
So, but Mademoiselle, please, just a quick question. But now, in our own time, do we still see Adam and Eve as saints?
no, I said the Latin church
Okay.
has never.
Okay.
So our own church has never.
Yeah.
But now the Eastern,
Do see them?
yes, yes. And that is why like we'll come to that, because the Eastern church celebrates their Christmas at Epiphany.
Okay.
While the Latin church celebrates it on the 25th, because they look at it that Epiphany is the period of manifestation. At that time, they were able now to know that in reality, this is the King of Kings. So but for us now, we celebrated it, then we started seeing now the manifestations. Yes, so we now can say that we because like faith is evidence of things not seen.
Yeah.
So we are celebrating with depending on our faith. Yes, so but they now they want to see the things before now they will celebrate. So they will celebrate their
Christmas in
yes,
January.
Yes, or most often 6th of January. That at times the Epiphany will fall, so they will celebrate it on that 6th of January. So when we look at it now, also a beautiful custom was practiced from the early times on this day in all Christian countries, namely the Christmas light. So the Christmas light was another custom that was being practiced. So a symbol for our Lord, the light of the world. So you see now that this light, it will start shining. So this is all something that was already being celebrated. But now what is happening is that most often, like if you even go to the tree, you ask children, they cannot really give you the various symbols of the Christmas tree, which means that it does not take them into the mysteries. But now when we put these things, just like the people of the medieval period, they took this tree into their homes because they wanted to remember to go into the mystery. That is why they took it. So they did not just take it because they wanted to just keep it there. So that is what we fail to understand. We use it as a form of decoration, but it should lead us into the mystery. We should go enter into the mystagogy of the whole thing. So you look at it now. So like in Germany, the Christmas candle used to be placed on top of a wooden structure made in the form of a pyramid. And in that pyramid, you see glass balls and tinsels. It was called the Christmas pyramid. So in Germany, they used to use these pyramids, a wooden structure. They would put the candle light there to represent the light of the world, which is the Savior. So when you look at this, but by the 16th century, people in Western Germany, they started combining now the paradise tree and the pyramid. Because first, if you look at it critically, the Christmas tree is in the form of a pyramid. Yeah. So you can bear with me. Yeah. So it is a form of a, so they transfer now that, then they transfer now the candle light now into into the Christmas tree. So you look at it now, you see now the lifeless pyramid now was being decorated. Okay. It became now a tree now that already has life. So instead of them looking at it that it is dead, now they could see now life in it. So the tree already bore the apples, and we know that in the when you go to Christmas trees, you see small balls are hanging there, but lights and other things. But it seems as if now people, they don't put more of the sweets. Because at first I used to see most Christmas trees, people buy sweets and tie. When children come to visit, they pluck from the tree, and then to see the sweet nature of Jesus Christ, because that tree now, it represents Christ. So the tree already bore the apples. The modern tree came into being to indicate to their children that the paradise tree no longer a tree of sin. Get it very well. It's no longer a tree of sin, but that it now symbolizes the light of Christ. The faithful suspend like cookies, as I've been saying, sweets beside the apple to represent the Savior's redemption. So when we look at this, we see how the tree is very educative, but now so many people, they don't really follow what is there. Then the crib, which was at the foot of the pyramid, because they used to have the crib. So this crib now is being placed under the tree. So when you go now, like in front of St. Charles, You see, Father Marcel has done a wonderful job there. There's a Christmas tree, and under you see the crypt, and if you look at it, it's very nice and beautiful. I want to say,
When you look at it, the
yes,
Christmas spirit is alive in
yes,
you.
special Berakah to Father Marcel Ewang, and Merry Christmas. And the star at the top of the pyramid is now placed at the top of the tree. So you see that light. When you come to church, you see in that Christmas tree, you see the light, that star, the star in the form of light. So the Christmas tree is clearly explained as each symbol is from its origin. So like you have the evergreen tree, evergreen nature. Is what does it symbolize? It symbolizes eternity. So when you look at that's why we have to use the cypress, which is evergreen.
This is really funny, Mount Zion, because even during the heart of dry season, once you enter Bamenda, that tree is always green.
Yes,
it's always green,
because you have the cypress. Is like they call it. It's a day, even day in desert. Yeah. Yes, it has a very it can withstand so many, maybe even the weather. Any type of weather, it can withstand it. So that tells you about eternity. So that shows you that you as a Christian, you should be able to remain evergreen. Like when we take our text, that's what Jeremiah says. A tree that is planted beside the running waters, its roots, you always go there, and you ever remain fresh and green, no matter the type of weather, whether the sun is high above as what, the tree will still be green. So that is, so the green nature.
With this symbol of the Christmas tree always green, I wonder why others are trying to force other
yes,
colors.
You see, they go and make white.
They make white, they make gold, even red.
No, the color for the Christmas tree is green. And you as a Christian, if you go, as I was saying at the beginning, you, the domestic church, you are the one that decides. Yes. So you, the family or the parent, when you go, you get a green cypress that they have made now to be artificial. Yes. At first, we used to go and harvest the artificial, the natural, and then when you enter the house, you get the fragrance. It has so nice. A certain fragrance. It's just that now so many things people they don't want to.
Yes.
Then
don't want to stress. We just want to.
I remember one time I went to harvest only the honey bees. I had to come down from the tree, but I needed to use some strategy because I could not go back to the house without the tree. Then the tree reminds us that our Lord is the tree of life and the light of the world. So when we see, just like the Bible tells us that I am the vine, you are the branches. So the tree reminds us that our Lord is the tree of life, and no more the forbidden fruit that Adam and Eve. So from the tree of sin now to the tree of life. The many lights. You see many lights on the Christmas tree. What does it symbolize? It symbolizes his divine, Jesus Christ's divine love and human traits and virtues. So you see the various lights different. You see, so in that light you have humility, you have patience, you have perseverance, you have courage. So you have all the virtues in that light. Then also the glittering decoration. You see some people they call it shiny. You see, you look at it, the way that the thing glitters. What does that represent? It represents his glory, Jesus' glory. So, but when we look at it, like, as I say, as you have also said, some manufacturers, they want to modernize the tree. but we should always know that, like they come, they put some, they spray, they make it look like snow and other things. Those things, they are not necessary. So just like what I've highlighted, those are the things that we should focus on. So in the radiant beauty and quiet solemnity, it should proclaim in our homes the very message of the Holy Liturgy, which has inspired its origin, that is the light of Christ. During Easter, we hear the priest will shout it out, Lumen Christi. So that is it. So, Madam Mafo.
In fact, I'm so happy because it's a season to be happy. You don't have
Yes,
to spread the joy, the happiness. So,
yes.
I was looking at that Christmas tree. At the top of the Christmas tree, we have a star. What does that star signify?
Yes, like in the church, that star that they put, most often they put the star at the crib.
Okay.
Now, that's innovation. That star represents the star that the three wise men they saw, and they started following the star. We three kings of Orient State. Do you know that song?
Actually forgetting this song. I last
Yeah.
sang that song when I was in primary
Yes,
school.
but now they are not even
They are
singing
not
that
even
song
singing the
again. You see, so those are songs that are very inspirational.
Yes.
So these three wise men, they saw the star. So they put the star now at the crib to show that this is the star that the wise men they followed until they came now and gave their gift, which were gold, myrrh, and frank incense.
Okay, so it's so interesting, and I admire those three wise men.
Yes.
They were so focused, so humble, and when they met, nobody tried to show that egoism or like greed.
Yes,
like
and,
I know,
and all of them, they came from different areas.
Yes, different
there was
ends of the
one
world.
that was from Africa, and then Europe, and then I think Asia. So you have Beltazar, you have Malkoya, and you have Gaspar. There were three of them.
some of us didn't even know their names. So I love the Christmas season. It's so interesting.
Yes, I can just see how you are smiling.
This is my best season in the church, Mount Zion. After
Yes.
that, no, I must say Easter counts. I love Easter, but you see, Christmas has a certain ambience. I don't know.
Yes,
And Easter, for me, I think Easter in a Christian life, Easter is the greatest.
yes,
Is the greatest.
that's where I wanted to come. Because if Jesus was born and then he did not die and rose again, then
I
our
don't know
faith
where
would
we
have
have
been
been.
in vain. So
So the star and Mount Zion, these gifts that the wise men brought when Jesus Christ was born. No, but before that, that crib, is it a crib where Jesus Christ was born? Does it have any symbols, or what does it bring to us Christians?
yes, because like when you go to the crib, what do you see? In the crib you have the angel. You have the angel to show that the angels, they sang their Gloria. Then you have the shepherds. The shepherds also were being told that Jesus is born. So you have all the people who were witnesses of the birth of Christ. And then you see Mary and Joseph there. And then Jesus was placed in the how do they
I love how they call it in pidgin, chop box.
Yes, yes.
Chop box.
Yes, yes. So in that, where Jesus was placed, that's where the cattle, their food was being kept. And so like somebody said that from the onset, Jesus already showed that he's somebody who is generous and will always feed people, because they gave birth to him where food was being placed. And that is why during the Last Supper we saw how he was able to give his body to be food, and then even feeding the 4,000, the 5,000. So you see, he was somebody who was always generous and giving food to the hungry. Somebody said it was since he was born in the where they place food. Yeah, so he was that person. So he already symbolized that he would be that type of person.
So that's surrounding where Jesus Christ gave birth. Many people expected that maybe you have been in a mansion or something, but as a leader, you need to humble yourself.
Yes,
as Christ humbled himself.
And that is why when we celebrate Christmas, we need to look at virtues and values. You cannot be celebrating Christmas and then you are that proud person. And then why are you celebrating? Because there you already, like when you come to the crib, you will see Jesus where the cattle, sheep were being placed. That is where he was born. But that's King of Kings. That's the second person of the Trinity. So you see, like Philippians will tell us that though he was in the form of God, he did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped. He humbled himself, taking the form of a servant. So why are we proud? Then you are celebrating Christmas. Why are you celebrating Christmas? So Christmas should, as I've said, in the various lights, we see the values, the virtues are presented in the Christmas tree. So we should be those people who represent it. And that is why, like as I said at first, 25th of December was celebrated as the sun god. Because during that period, winter was finishing. And then you start seeing the sun, the rays of the sun. So people were now celebrating. So they now were looking at it, that this is the sun god. So they placed something and they were worshipping it. So with all this, but now when you look at it, that was more of physical. They were looking at the physical things and they were being happy for it and they were worshipping it. But when you look at Jesus, Jesus comes now. So for them now, it was from external to internal. But when Jesus comes now as the light of the world, it is inside out, which means from internal to external. So you must first have that light within you, and then you can be able to radiate it. We have heard from the opening when I was talking about the poor, you radiate your light to the poor, and they now will be able to experience the light by what you reach out to them. You radiate the light to the marginalized. When you reach out to them, they will be able to see now the light. So then now we are not talking about physical light, but we are talking about spiritual light. And the physical light that we'll see, it is from the things that you do, from your acts, from your attitude. Then now you are going to radiate that light, and it is going to dispel the darkness. That's why we have the antiphons. We have the O antiphons. That from the 17th. They come in different light. O wisdom, O Adonai, O root of Jesse. So all this is to bring back our joy. Is to bring back our joy. So but now, how do you radiate this joy to other people? So that is more of what Christmas is all about, and not the celebration. Maybe you sit in your house, your child alone has maybe even 50 dolls or 50 different toys that you have bought, whereas your neighbor is there, that the child is there, the child does not have even a dress to wear. And so when you sit in your house and you are joyful and your child is playing with all those dolls, and then your neighbor is there. So, but when you radiate the joy now to your neighbor, then your joy is complete. Then your joy is complete. So there is nothing in us trying to withhold joy from other people. I think we just need to practice the common good, as we said.
So this period is the time for us to come together from every end of the world, like the three wise men. And my husband, the other day I got into the house and my mother put a certain Christmas movie, and to tell you the truth, it was so inspiring because I watched it from a different angle.
Okay.
People coming together, even a donkey and a bird, they came together to lead Mary, to save Mary from the kings, from Herod's people. And they never knew each other. And at one point, you see a sheep getting in. It shows how united we have to be during this period. And you and Mr. Gallus used to say on the program that we have to be what we celebrate. We have to be
Yes.
Christmas people
Yes.
throughout our life.
Come
Not only
what you
during
celebrate.
yes, not only during this period of Christmas, but we have to always be people of Christmas by sharing that love, that unity, that smile. Even if you don't have money or clothes to give somebody, smile at
That
somebody.
is it.
Share whatever you have. You must not share food, but you have a talent by singing a Christmas carol to somebody. It can
That is
brighten
it.
that person's
That
day,
is it.
Mount Zion.
That
So I'd
is
like
it.
us to take the text of the day.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 7 to 8.
Jeremiah chapter 17, verses 7 to 8. Blessed are those who trust in the Lord. The Lord will be their trust. They are like a tree planted beside the waters that stretches out its roots to the stream. It does not fear heat when it comes. Its leaves stay green. In the year of drought, it shows no distress, but still produces fruits.
So just what we have been saying here, televiewers. I will let Mount Zion continue commenting, because we had already started commenting on that text
Yes.
before even taking the text.
Yes. So like you see, the text tells us clear. Before the text says blessed. Blessed. Some Bibles will say happy, but blessed. Blessed are those who trust in the Lord. Those who trust in the Lord. So first, you are blessed when you trust in God. So everyone who trusts in God is already blessed. That is why there is no need for you to say that maybe because you don't have this or that, you are not blessed. No. Once you trust in the Lord, you are already blessed. And that is why the passage, the reading that we have taken, it goes further to tell you that the Lord will be their trust. So they trust in the Lord, and the Lord will be their trust, and they will trust the Lord always. And that is why the text goes to tell us that it describes how these people are. They are like a tree that is planted beside the waters. So which means that since they trust in the Lord, they are already satisfied. They are already satisfied, because like a tree that is planted beside water, the tree has nothing to be afraid of. That's why the end tells you that even during drought, the tree still produces its fruit. So once you trust in the Lord, there is nothing for you to be afraid of, because they stretch their roots into the stream. How do you stretch your roots into the stream as a Christian? Which means you trust in God. How do you go closer to God? You need to go closer to God, and once you go closer to God, then as BERAKAH will tell us, that gratitude plus generosity will give you abundance. The Bible tells us that I have come that they may have life and have it in abundance. In abundance. So once you go closer to the Lord, that is when you have abundance. And that is why no matter what is there, you still have that joy. That is why we say there is difference between joy and happiness. You may be happy just for a while, but somebody who is joyful, then once you are joyful in the Lord, you are always fine. Like the Bible tells us that the joy of the Lord is our strength, because it is that joy that keeps you. No matter what is there, like the drought, you are not afraid, because you know that you are going to continue to give the same fruit that you are supposed to give. Is it, and what are those fruits? The fruit of the Spirit. Joy, peace, patience, love, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness. So no matter what is there, no matter how the stress comes, you are still able to be gentle. You are not arrogant. telling us you are not arrogant. No matter what is there, you are still there to be joyful. You are still there to be kind. You are still there to be patient. You are still there to be loving. So that this is what this text is telling us, and this is the right time, because we can already see ourselves in the Christmas tree. As that tree is radiating that light, as the tree is green, as the tree has the balls, as the tree has the star. Are you one of those wise men who will look for that star to go and present a gift? Somebody will ask the question that, where is baby Jesus? Baby Jesus is everywhere. During this period, give somebody a gift. See the star. May the star lead you to that person, to that Jesus, whom you need to present a gift, like the wise men. So let us not only sit and then we are saying that we are say merry making. You should not only be merry within your environment, your house, but see those. Yes, at times even before Christmas, you should be able to identify those whom you are going to reach out. It's just like at first, before Christmas like that, they will send us, go and give this person small rice, meat, this. Go and give this person. Those old people in the village, you see, my father will remove small parcels. You people, you go more for you, the way that you trek that day. You go because they will not want to mix it. They take this, go and give to this person. You go, come back, they give you the next one. You go. So since you don't have anything to give, you are now the herald. That you will be now the messenger that will be going. So that is your own sacrifice. So I think that if we can be doing that,
Mount Zion, the domestic church has a lot of role to play, because at that point, if maybe your dad did not teach you that sharing is very, very important, maybe you wouldn't have had that virtue of sharing, and you're passing it down to the next generation. So with the parents, the leaders in the domestic church have to be more informed about these things, so that the children shall carry that tradition from one generation to the next, so that our community will be more better as time goes on. Like you always say, that spirituality is not just something to get up in the morning and achieve.
It's a process. It's not an event.
It's a process. Yes, Mount Zion.
So that is why we need to do all this in order for us to make sure that we enter into that spirit of Christmas. And when we look at it, we see that Christmas season, it begins on that 24th night, and right up to the baptism of the Lord.
Most people just end it at the 25th.
That is why I was saying that, why not take Christmas concerts inside the Christmas season? Because like now, we want to, at first even, they will say there's a Christmas concert. Let me say, they will say the mass begins at 7. But now between 5:30 to before that mass, they have about 1 hour to give Christmas carol for Christians. But now all is
before the Christmas season, we are already tired of the carols.
That is it. But Marfo, I think that now it's
better.
Yes, because I really see that I started getting Christmas carol around the 20th, Marfo.
Mount Zion, I even thought maybe you will not even have a Christmas season this year, because you're even saying the 20th. I started getting it on Friday. So it's really, I don't understand.
No, but it's good.
It's good for us, but I'm really worried that they are not playing it if it's that they know why they are not supposed to play
Christmas,
it. Yes, I don't understand.
No, but let us see how it goes.
Okay.
You cannot, they say that.
Let us know more than our
Yes, that's it. So don't let the cat out of the bag without you here. So allow it there. So we'll see now how it goes, so that next year we'll be able to give a review of what we saw. So I think that the Christmas carols, as I was saying, but now if you look at it, all is about money. Yes.
We'll say maybe for the past years now we've been having a positive shift.
Yes, there's a positive shift. Yes. So with all this, Marfo, when we look at Christmas, in reality, we should try to bring in the real spirit of Christmas. Like they'll tell you, silent night, holy night, still the night, holy night. Shepherds were in the field. Are we silent? Are we calm? Because without us being silent, it becomes a disaster. We need to be silent. And as I said one time, so many people are afraid of being silent because in that silence, they see the monster of themselves. Yes. You see, some people, they don't want to, when we talk about examination, they don't want to examine themselves because they know that within themselves, they cannot even stand in the mirror and then they look at themselves. But I think that we should not be afraid of ourselves, like the church will always say, and that is why throughout this period, the church will always call for penitential service, the church will always call for Christians to go for confession, so that at this now, when we are about meeting the baby Jesus, we know that we are somehow, like I will say that the Bible tells us that nothing holy, nothing sinful can even go beside God. And that is why the Psalms will tell us that who can climb the mountain of the Lord? The man with clean hands and pure heart. So that is the person that can climb the mountain of the Lord. That is the person that can go closer to Jesus Christ. So that is why the church takes it as a responsibility within this period that Christians should come, they should do their confession, they should make that journey, that inward journey. They should see into themselves and then try to come out so that they should radiate now the light, because they have dispelled the darkness within them, and what now can be radiated is the light.
Okay. So, Mount Zion, concerning the liturgical color of maybe Christmas, what liturgical color do we use during Christmas?
Oh, we use gold and white. Okay. White for purity, and gold to show the king, yes,
the kingship of Christ.
The kingship
of
Christ.
So, Mount Zion, you said Christmas begins from the 24th night.
Yes, midnight.
Till when?
Till baptism of the Lord.
So, at baptism of the Lord, we officially close the Christmas season.
Yes.
So interesting. So, I want you to maybe share with us your words of encouragement during these difficult times. You know, some people, some families have lost loved ones during this period of Christmas. Some of them are sorrowful, but how do we bring the light to those people?
Yes, I think like we see, I will say that all is not lost. Maybe you are undergoing one stress, one trouble, one challenge, one difficulty, or maybe even many. But Jesus Christ, who is the light, he has come to dispel the darkness. And once the light comes, all darkness is being dispelled. And we could see that when Jesus came, it is somehow to give us that strength and encouragement, because he came as that baby. He came to journey with us, to know our difficulties. And so by the time we look at maybe our Christmas tree, or even if we don't have it in the house, as we pass by, we should be able, as I've said, we should see ourselves like that tree that is planted beside the running waters. And in this problem, look at yourself. And if the problem is weighing you down, then you look at where your roots are. Maybe the roots are not well structured into the waters, because just like that tree that has sent its roots into the waters, during drought it does not fear, because it knows that it will continue to have that water that refreshes it. So during drought, during your challenges, if you realize that the problem is overweighing you down, then it is something that you need to go closer to Christ. You need to go closer to God. As you have asked, we'll see that during this period, 26th of December is celebrated Feast of Saint Stephen. A martyr. That's the first martyr that they killed him for the sake of the kingdom. That's why he's a martyr. And 27 is celebrated Saint John. That's the only apostle who died a natural death, Saint John, and who was very close, always at Jesus's chest.
Okay, so Mama, when do we celebrate the Feast of the Holy Saints?
Holy
Innocents.
Innocents.
Sorry,
28. That's
okay,
when
28,
that's
next.
when I'm coming. So,
Okay.
so after the Feast of Saint John, then now we celebrate the Holy Innocents, the Feast of the Holy Innocent.
Okay, so Mount Zion, there is this funny thing I see online, and
Yes.
it disturbs me a lot. Do we say Merry Christmas or Merry Xmas or Happy Xmas?
We say Merry Christmas.
So
Happy
where is this
Christmas.
X coming from?
Us Christians, we are not grounded in our faith. So most often we indulge ourselves into pagan practices.
When you look at it
Yes.
logically, the X, it does not even reflect Christ.
Because like Christmas, Christmas, yes. So once you start now saying that X, where is Christ? So it means that you have removed Christ from the celebration, and that is why we see all the horrible things happens during Christmas, because we have decided to remove Christ from the celebration. Then we carry out our pagan practices. Yes. So immediately you say Merry Xmas, then it means that you are negative. You have something. They will say that you have an agenda, because I don't think that instead you should be proud to pronounce that word Christ. Because just pronouncing it Merry Christmas, it already gives down something within you. It radiates something and it brings out the joy. So when we put Xmas, we have removed Christ from it. And that is why we are not surprised to see during the Christmas day, you see so many things, fights, everything is happening. So you see all type of rustic kind of dressing coats. You see them. So all that is because those people, they have decided to remove Christ. And then for us Christians also, we look at it, because normally they will say that the bad way is always very easy. It's very easy.
Very
That's why I say that bad association corrupt good manners.
Yes.
Because it's difficult for you, a good person, to change a bad person than for that bad person to change a good person.
Yes.
1 second, you are already converted into doing sin. But for you to convert somebody, the person will tell you, I'm already comfortable. But for us, we are not even comfortable in our virtues and values. Immediately we just switch. There is a very quick switch. But whereas if that bad person has to, every day you have to remind the person, then the person will tell you that, well, you know that I'm already comfortable. So it becomes very difficult and challenging. So why is it that we Christians, we are so quick to switch, to go to the negative, instead of us remaining in our positive? So we copy the wrong things instead of teaching the people that this is wrong. And you see so many Christians, they also say that. So removing Christ from the celebration, then what are you celebrating?
Actually, so this Christmas, like Mr. Gallows will say, we can discuss it over
Yes.
and over. We can take 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours to talk about Christmas, because it's a joyful season. But we have to end here, Mount Zion, because our time is up.
Yes.
So plead on you to conclude.
Yes, our time is up, and I want to say that, just like you said, we have Sunday the 20, is it? We have the Sunday the 31st, Feast of the Holy Family, or Solemnity of the Holy Family. After that, we have the Epiphany, and after that we close the Christmas season. And if you look at it, you see that this year we'll have a very long Christmas season because the Advent period was short.
Yes.
So then also I want to talk a bit about, before closing, let me just give a highlight on the 28th, which is the feast of the Holy Innocent. So some people ask, Holy Innocent. So this is a feast about the killing of the Holy Innocent, which is the Herod. He decided to kill all the children from 2 years to 0 because he wanted to make sure that he eliminates Jesus. As we always say, most people who are in authority, most often when they hear about another person coming, they are threatened, but failing to understand that maybe each person has his or her own way that God has designed him, maybe your own function. So maybe 2 people are not to carry out the same function. So immediately Herod heard that Jesus Christ, another king, has been born. He decided that he should eliminate so that he will remain in power. So but that is not. So you see, all those children died. All of them. That's why they call them the Holy Innocent. So they were all martyrs. And that is why on that day the altar is red, to show that they died of their faith because of Jesus Christ, the infant Jesus. So for just as you are saying that I should end here, I want to say a special Merry Christmas to all those who have been following us, not forgetting Mula Ebel, not forgetting Madam Abba, not forgetting Mr. Edmond, not forgetting all those who have been watching us. I wish to say, I may not call all their names, but I wish to say a Merry Christmas to you all. And I always want to say, stay in the Christmas spirit. And when I say stay in the Christmas spirit, what do I mean? Stay in that life which is made up of value and virtues, because today we are being carried away. Follow the star. Come and look at Jesus Christ and make sure that you present him your gift, which is what, when I say your gift, what do I mean? Your gift, which is that talent that you have for the common good. You use it for the common good. So that is the gift that you bring to Jesus Christ. As Mother Teresa of Calcutta says, that Jesus is not here. So we are now Jesus' hands, we are his head, we are his legs. So anything that Jesus would have done, we are the ones to do it. So that is the best gift of Christmas that I can give to anyone. Put to your values and virtues. And of all what is going on now, Marfo, as the Pope is saying, we the parents, tell your children God created man and woman, and that is what forms holy matrimony. So we should not go into other practices, because it is only for us to fight it. And if from parents we start teaching our children what is right, then I think that what is happening in the society will not even exist. But because we are failing in our domestic in the domestic church, that is why we see the odds happening in the society. So let us go back. Like Jesus Christ was born in a family of Mary and Joseph. So it was not Mary and Mary, but Mary and Joseph, or not Joseph and Joseph, but Mary and Joseph, man and woman. And so when we are celebrating the Holy Family, we are celebrating a family made up of a man and a woman. And if God blesses them, they have children. Thank you, Mafu.
Thank you very much, Madam Director. It's always a pleasure to have you here on the show. I want to say a special Berakah and a Merry Christmas to Mr. Feji Galus, to my beautiful family, the Tenus Kimex family, Mr. Noyer, Mr. Chunka, and to all our televiewers. You guys are so special. I want to say a Merry Christmas to the High TV team. Remember, if Christmas isn't found in your heart, you won't find it under a tree. Christmas will always be, as long as we stand heart to heart and hand in hand. It is on this note that I close the curtains on today's edition. Kelly Mafote is my name, and I've been your host. Remember,
Berakah.